What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Basic Trades, where I teach you the most simplest and easiest ways to trading. You don't need big indicators, you don't need big stuff, you don't need all that mumbo jumbo slave, just the basic foundations of how to make a solid trade. Now for me personally, I've had more success with wedge breaks. Wedge breaks has been good. I mean, the orb is great. The orb is also king as well. I do also do the orb, but that's for another video and that's for other stuff later. If you really want to know, hit the like and subscribe button, and we can send you over to my Discord to see if you want to get started on how to learn how to trade in the stock market. So here on the 5-minute candle at opening, what do we see the first thing in the morning? We see this gap. This gap pretty much has to get filled. It doesn't have to get filled right away, but it does eventually have to get filled. So we mark it out. Then we also mark out the levels of confluence that was for previous day and previous lows for the market over the weekend. But here when we go to the 15-minute chart, I saw this wedge pattern that was coming down. I said, okay, let's see how it goes. Because this obviously wasn't here today, but I said, okay, let's see where it goes. When we opened, we're going back to the 5-minute. When we opened with aggressive push up, and then we bounced around for a retest, and then we had the strong aggressive push up that said, maybe we might break, maybe we might not. But next candle open, we had this strong aggressive push up to the upside. So I actually entered on the next full candle open, or the next when we close on this candle above our wedge, on the next full candle open, I entered here. Now I will admit I did enter pretty heavy, so that's how I was able to make the amount of money that I did. But if you think about it, this was 691 cents all the way to 602.53. Now that's a $2.50 move. That pays. Now on the S&P 500, you can be known, if you've been trading for a while, you'll know that a 20-40 cent move can pay you quite a bit of money. A $1 to $2 move, it's pretty good. Like you can really make a living off a $1 to $2 move on SPY. So when this $2 move happened, I actually did go pretty heavy, and I was trading SPX, so that also did pay as well. And I was able to walk away with 6,000 bucks. And that was basically it. That was as simple as that. I just entered in here on this wedge break and I let it ride. So then I closed it when I started to see that we start to fall back down on the pattern. I actually ended up closing the trade. Then for the rest of the day, we actually start to trend on the downward side. But I noticed quickly, that in this aggressive move up to the upside here, once we went above this wedge, this trend line for the wedge, I actually entered the trade, and it was the most simplest textbook trade ever. Now, I'm not saying that every trade is going to be like this. I hardly ever really go in depth with trading because, again, my style of trading is the most simplest, basic form of trading. I mean, simple. It doesn't have to get too technical. You don't have to crack your head. You don't have to make it all, a big deal. It doesn't have to be exhausting or stressful. It is the most simplest way of trading, and it just makes it easy. You don't have to trade every single day because, again, you are not an everyday trader. You are a day trader, which you choose and pick and choose your trades, your setups. If the market presents its setup, that's the trade you take. If it doesn't, you don't have to force your setup onto the trade. So with that, I hope that helps. I hope that you guys can make some money as well in the stock market. If you guys need help, let the link down below. Join our WhatsApp group, and to the next time. Thank you.